I go over their suggested topics, I want to show you everything. Um, how I look. My eyebrows are thinning again, and I showed you how before they were coming back. Um, I just want to say a few of their suggested topics, then I'll go into what I want to talk about. So one suggested topic was they said, I'm so hated. Everyone hates me. And I told my mom, I said, oh, they're going to cut me off soon. I told my mom, I would rather be hated because being hated is much easier than being loved. And someone had walked past us and then she left, and they keep repeating everything I say to my mom. They said, didn't years ago you used to whisper to your mom when you were outside instead of talking out loud? Well, if I always whispered outside instead of talking out loud, it would be difficult to walk. I think what the person meant to say, and this is my point, when they're always correcting me, I got to correct them also, was that I wasn't screaming. I was someone who would talk low. So when they said I had a high-pitched voice, that's a lie. You can tell now that my voice is coming back. I had a deeper voice, a lower voice. So for me to talk high would make it harder. It would strain my voice, especially when I work in industries where I have to talk a lot. That's the next thing I want to talk about. They said, Joelle Grunsberg's husband came into the boutique at the Broadway store of Lacoste, and they said I said when I got home. And that's my point. I'm trying to figure out, well, if you're listening to me when I get home, then what's the point of listening to me when I get home? But they said I said that he said I was talking too much to a customer, and I didn't know it was him. And that's part of what I'm telling you, that this seems to have happened in 2016. I never had a situation before where I come home and someone's telling me what I said when I'm home that's paid for by the cost. It's just, it just doesn't make sense, okay? The other thing is they said they interviewed various people and no one said anything nice about me. No one. Then they said there was a girl named S.J. Johnson, which is me, Shamega Johnson, S.J. Johnson, that they said nice things about. That doesn't make sense. If you interview people about me and you ask them about me and you say no one said anything nice about me, then you change it to there was someone named SJ that they said nice things about, then you're lying. And that's part of why I have to keep telling you everything they said. They lied and said, I have a lump inside my mouth. I don't have a lump inside my mouth, but I showed you before my gums, and they were pinker, you see? And now my gums are getting darker because they said they're targeting my gums. So you see the tooth that is going back slowly is darker. That's because they targeted it. So what they said, they try to create nerve damage. And they said what the nerve damage does eventually is it messes up your teeth. So they said that this technology also erodes your tooth enamel. They just said that. But I want to tell you what I'm telling you about this is that if you create nerve damage, then you have pain. So it's not just nerve damage, it's causing me pain. And nobody was doing this before. They keep saying that they were. So they said Joelle Grunsberg's husband was part of the Israeli military. I don't know. But I got to tell you everything they're saying. So when I was out today, they said everybody hates me. They said they're doing this to punish me from talking too much because of Joelle Grunsberg's husband. They said, they said, didn't someone punch you in the face? Again, I'm just going to leave that comment out there. They thought I would say one way or another. Leave that at that. That was the other big thing. I was holding out a paper for a woman, and they had said when you hold out a paper, someone should grab it. But if someone is going to hand you something, you shouldn't hold out your hand until the person hands it to you. Okay, so, that person just yelled stop. They don't like this anymore. See, it's not fun when their names are mentioned. When they're following me around saying my social security number out loud, which they did, giving out my credit card number, my PIN numbers out loud, that's fine. But the moment I talk about a CEO's husband trying to say the wrong thing and them relaying it, there's a problem. So back to what I was telling you. So while I'm there, I held out my hand to give someone a paper she asked for and she never took it. So they said, put your hand down. Don't keep your hand up. No, you keep your hand up. When someone asks you for something and you go to hand it to them, let me see what I have that I can hand. I go to hand this to you and you don't take it, the onus is on you. It's not on me because you asked me for something and I was handing it to you. So eventually, after holding my hand up there for a while, I said, do you still want this? Oh, no. You know what I mean? Like, that's my whole point. Or if she took it, I'm not sure which it was, but the onus is on the person who asked for something. When you ask for something, and this is what I'm saying, they said they're going to turn this into mismanners. How could people without manners turn anything into mismanners? When I say to you, and I worked with customers for decades, we're not talking about that I just started doing this. They lied and said that I had bad experiences. I was always given accommodations. Always. And they're liars because after 2016, after I was hired with an email that said I had a track record of success and they wanted to pick my brain, which I didn't think they meant like this with a laser. Why would I think they would pick my brain with a fucking laser? And that's the point of this. They said they wanted to find out what areas of my brain were stimulated. And they would keep stimulating my head, which led to this. So they accused me of faking this. Why would they hospitalize me if I'm faking it? They wanted to hospitalize me twice, not once. But the first time I said, no, it should pass because I didn't want to stay in. And the second time I stayed in. And that's my point. Why would I fake this? So another big point that I want to make before I go back to what I was talking about with Lacoste is that if they said I am somebody they thought would be impressionable. They said when I was younger that I would change my mind about things. Doesn't that happen to all young folks? What they wanted to do is make me somebody who would be so difficult, that I was such a difficult person. And it's a lie. They lied on Cardinal Spellman. Now, why do they keep attacking Cardinal Spellman? Because Felicia Allen didn't get accepted to Cardinal Spellman. That's why. And so then they said, well, Ian from Cardinal Spellman had a problem with Cardinal Spellman. That's my point. It's always someone else except the people who are responsible. So when I'm telling you, they wanted to label me as someone too easy, like I would change my mind. They said they wanted, the people at Lacoste were inspired by me. Matthew was inspired by me. Someone from marketing was inspired by me. So they said they wanted to match this to that, meaning to take the focus off them. They were going to put it on me in a negative way. So find out every time I was inspired by someone, but I never invaded someone's privacy to steal from them. And that's what happened at Lacoste. So today, when they had someone sit next to me, he said, do you speak French? I said, no. He kept looking over my mother's shoulder to watch me because I had to recertify for Medicaid and public assistance welfare. And so he kept looking over their shoulders. So I said, they keep repeating everything to pretend they're reading through my head. What they did was they tested my reading level and reading speed. So they were on the phone with someone. This is what Lacoste is doing. So they're like, we have the guy from Lacoste on the phone. They don't have anyone from Lacoste on the phone. This is a criminal organization. So in 2018, December 2018, I went to the ER and I was told that they can fill out an emergency medical for me. That's the first time I ever had Medicaid. And they keep trying to lie and say I had it before. I didn't. Trust me, if I had it before, that would have been the first thing they said. So they said when I went to apply, other people were using it. That was after 2016. Before 2016, no one was using my name for different things. So they lied and said, well, Deborah's sister, who's also named Shamega, something similar. It's not the exact same name. Stole my name. That's a lie. You want to know how I know that's a lie? Because it's not the exact same name. So there have always been other Shamegas, but there were few Shamegas. And my mother got my name from a Shamega. And someone's yelling again. They just have to be a part of things. That's what they said. That's a word they use. They said they always clump together. They weren't clumping with me before. I don't know why they're trying to clump now. But anyway, my professor used my name in a book. But if it's my professor using my name and stories about me and my physical description, then it's about me. It's not about another Shamega. But they're not, they're not like that. So anyway, so they said, well, we're using Felicia's stories about you. And didn't you tell us someone punched you in the face? Then she said, her and someone named Nancy put a gerbil in my mouth. Again, you can check with them. Feel free to leave a comment. They said, I'm one of the kids. They said, no, this was done to Spanish kids. I don't know. They're screaming now. They're upset. If I say Spanish, they'll say, no, we're not Spanish, we're Latinos. If I say Latinos, no, we're Hispanic. They keep changing the names on me. Anyway, they said this was done to Spanish kids, and I wasn't supposed to be included because obviously I'm not Spanish. That this was a program, and that Felicia's family put me in this program. But they said a lot of the kids that Felicia's family put into the program died. So they said, Kelly, which was a little girl, she was white, passed away. And then they said Louis also got similar symptoms. No, Louis was diagnosed with MS, I believe, when we were in college. And he was one of the few kids from my elementary school who graduated with high school with me, and we went to college together. But unfortunately, he developed